You know the FSG out stuff? At the moment, they're getting the decisions right, innit?
Yeah,
I know with the
with
contract stuff, that's messy. But the guy that they've appointed, they're appointing,
Yeah.
is doing brilliantly.
Yeah.
So that also has to be taken into account. I know fans will be upset about the contract situations, but their appointment of manager is proving to be genius.
Yeah. And if
So
I'm honest,
how can you say out?
if I'm honest, Rob, the FSG outers, they don't go to game. They don't go to match. No one's saying that.
I get it. I get people want to see signings and that. But what if you don't need any?
Exactly. What
if the guys that you got are good enough to do? At the moment, they're being proven to be right, isn't it? That the guys that we got are good enough. We just needed a new manager to reinvigorate them. So,
and listen,
I think it's tough with protest. I think every club has got a gripe with someone. You've been Kroenke out at some point. Well, not you, but Arsenal themselves. We've obviously been Sullivan. But then you get these points where it does start going right, and it makes it more. That's when people start looking at it. What are you moaning about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But every club has got a gripe. Levy out even when they was finishing second in the league and getting to Champions. So
is it too easy sometimes? And I'm not saying. Listen,
of course.
I've been very frustrated with the owners of Arsenal over the years, right? Because of their lack of ambition. But I do think over the last few years they have been showing more ambition, right? But is it too easy sometimes just to? It's like a scapegoat. Oh, the owners.
Of course it is, Rob.
Because why the FSG thing? I get it, right? At the start of the season, a lot of Liverpool fans would be like, "Well, where's the signings? Why didn't we get Zubimendi? Why didn't we get this person that?" But actually, at the moment, you have to. As a Liverpool fan, apart from I get the Trent stuff and all that, apart from putting that aside, you have to say these guys at the moment, they're kind of been right.
Do you know what? I think one of the reasons for the FSG outers to rear their heads once more is because apparently they're going to bid $6 million to buy the Boston Celtics. So that would be the Boston Celtics, the Red Sox and LFC on their roster. And listen, if that means that Liverpool, with that money that they're going to spend on the Boston Celtics, don't sign someone because of that, then you can have an issue. You know, you bought us first. Let's have a bit of leeway here. And look, don't judge FSG until the end of the season. Let's see what happens with the contracts. Let's see how many trophies we win. Let's see if we win the league. And all these FSG outers, yes, I want signings as much as you do. But these FSG outers, they'll forget to mention what FSG have done for the club. You know, we were on the brink of administration in 2010. They saved us, man. They literally saved us. New training ground, extended the stadium, won titles, won every trophy under FSG.
But
so you can be quick to say FSG out, but I'll tell you this. If you go to the game and you're on the cop, no one's mentioning FSG for the whole 90 minutes.
But West Ham were in a very similar position to that. 2010, we was on the brink of going bust. We was going bust. The financial collapse had done us. The owners were Icelandics at the time. Yeah. They'd lost a load of money. They couldn't sustain it. We was going under. Sullivan come along, but I look at him now. I've got my gripes. From the outside in, you might not see it. You know what I mean? But
yeah, exactly.
I think it comes down to the intent. You know, what do you intend to do with this club? Why are you at this club? Are you at this club to bring success, or are you at this club to just, coast it and make as much money as you can and sell it? It all depends on what the long-term plan is. I mean, Kroenke must have had a long-term plan when they built the stadium. They did say it's going to be tough for a little while. It overrun that 10 years. So it's
overrun a very long time.
But then you start to see, building back up, and then they start to invest more money. So it's very tough. And some people, when they're protesting, nothing will ever change their minds. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're, Chelsea were protesting against someone, and Tottenham are Levy out, and I think he said something recently, Levy, and he's upset everyone again. But it's all about where you see yourself in the future. Are you just riding that wave, or do you want to sustain that wave? Do Tottenham want to sustain their challenge, or do they want to take that money and say, right, we've had a good success, now it's time to
do you know
stop
what? Could they have spent a bit more money? Yes, 100%. Are they slightly, maybe hold a percentage of the blame for Liverpool not going out and signing players to tip us over that line to get that extra point or two? Yes. And I've been the first one to criticise them with the furlough, with the Super League that they wanted to impose. But look, no owner is perfect. Go and find me an owner in any country around the world that is perfect, that does everything that the fans want. It doesn't exist.
Sometimes
so be real.
Sometimes
be real with your expectations, people.
It is also the way they treat the match-going fans. I mean, we've had a thing this season, and I think a lot of you have had it, where they've taken away concessions. So you don't get kids' tickets anymore. You have to pay full price for everything. And that leaves a stinging, you know. I know some people that had to give up their tickets.
No, listen, it's not on.
For their children, you know. If I couldn't have had concessions when I was young, I'd have never gone to football.
Exactly.
You know.
And so then we've protested about the ticket prices.
Yeah.
You know,
then the balance on the ticket prices and things like that, though, is that we all then still like every Arsenal fans like, go and get him. If it's 90 million, get him. So there is a balance, right? I mean,
but gone are the days where you're going to get someone that supports the club that can afford to go. You know, like me. All right, we'll keep the tickets cheap, but I'm going to put £100 million of my money in to go because I said, them days are gone.
Mate,
long
gone.
gone.
Those days are well over. So for me, get behind the boys, right? We'll sign who we sign, and they're not perfect owners.
I think any arguments towards FSG would be, you know, you have to put those at the end of the list. You have to wait and see what Liverpool do. If Liverpool win the league,
wait and see.
Will they big FSG up? You know, because it would have been their decision that did it.
Let's see what happens. Time will tell.